65% of adults hit the snooze button every single morning.
In that first decision, the rest of the day is hijacked.
If you wake up anxious, if you wake up overwhelmed, if you wake up feeling like you're losing some imaginary race,
Change your daily habits.
we are going to build, based on science, the most powerful morning routine that you could possibly have.
The way that you start to change the big things is you change the small things.
Do not allow yourself, when that alarm goes off, to turn it off and lie in bed and start to ruminate.
You have to take control. You have to get up every morning.
Here's how I want you to wake up. How you wake up and the first few things that you do in the morning will dictate your mood for the rest of the day, which, based on science, is going to impact your productivity, and it's going to impact how you feel about your life. And it will also impact your mindset for the rest of the day. You can think about your morning routine and whether or not you even have one in the exact same way that we think about the brain. You're either defaulting to something that you've always done that may no longer serve you, or you're getting deliberate and choosing to do something that's more positive and powerful because you deserve it. And that starts with your morning routine. So if you're the kind of person where the alarm goes off and you hit the snooze, and then the alarm goes off again and you hit the snooze, and eventually you roll out of bed and you step into your day and you maybe drink a big dark cup of coffee and you skip breakfast and you skip exercise and you're tired, if that's how you start your day, your mindset is going to be impacted by that. If your alarm goes off and you immediately reach for your phone and you start scrolling through Instagram while you're in bed and looking at Facebook, and you are putting all kinds of stuff in your brain that triggers FOMO, that triggers insecurity, that triggers anxiety, that is going to impact your mindset for the rest of the day. And so starting tonight, I want you to take control and be more deliberate about your habits in the morning. And what we're going to do this week is we are going to build, based on science, the most powerful morning routine that you could possibly have. Sorry, I'm just moving this around so that the Instagram channel is brighter. The most powerful morning routine that you could possibly have based on science. It's super simple. It will help you become a more deliberate and positive thinker. And I'm going to walk you through step by step. And you're going to be doing this with more than 230,000 people around the world. So what is the assignment tonight? The assignment tonight is very simple, and you're going to hate it. You're totally able to do this, and most of you are not going to. You're going to let your limiting beliefs and your default mode of thinking stop you from making this simple change. And the thing that I want you to do tonight, this is your assignment. This smartphone right here, I don't want it anywhere near your bedroom. Your assignment is when you go to bed tonight, you are to plug your smartphone in outside of your bedroom. If you live in a studio apartment, put it on the other side of the room. I don't want this phone anywhere near where you sleep. And there's a simple reason why. You're addicted to it. And if it's next to you while you're sleeping, as soon as you wake up, without even thinking, the default mode of your brain will mindlessly reach for this, and you will lie in bed and you will look at your phone. And when you do that, you are putting in garbage into your brain before you even get out of bed. If you wake up anxious, if you wake up overwhelmed, if you wake up feeling like you're losing some imaginary race, if you wake up and you feel dread, if you wake up and feel negative or exhausted, I'm telling you, this is the reason why. And if you want to have a positive mindset this year, and you deserve to, then you also have to get very deliberate about your habits and about your morning routine in particular, because how you wake up matters.
You're going to set your alarm for 7. And when the alarm goes off, that's what happened. That gap is going to open up and you're going to feel all the roll in. I don't feel like it. I'm hungover. I don't want to. I don't feel like writing a song anyway. That's when you have to take control. You have to take control. You have to get up every morning. It begins by getting up, because if you let anxiety, excuses, self-doubt, all the win in that first decision, the rest of the day is hijacked. So win the first decision. Then exercise. I don't care about the eating as much. I know it's important not to put garbage in, but I would rather see you first master getting up on time. Do that for a week. Then let's add in exercise every day. 10 minutes. Don't start with like 2 hours, because then you're going to find an excuse not to do it. Get up at 7, exercise for 10 minutes. Then the third week, you're going to add in like, I'm actually going to eat clean this week, or whatever the diet is that you want to eat, right? You're just going to add in things as you master the little things. But you got to get up on time. It starts right there.
You should never hit the snooze button. Okay? And let me explain why. Here's how I want you to wake up. When the alarm rings, get out of bed. Period. You want to be a happy person. You want to have a positive mindset. You want to take control of the anxiety, the depression, and the stress that you have. Do not allow yourself, number one, when that alarm goes off, to turn it off and lie in bed and start to ruminate in your mind about everything that you've got to do today and how stressed you feel, and to marinate in those negative thoughts. I do not want you to do that. You're going to use the 5-second rule, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you're going to get out of bed. The other thing I do not want you to do is I do not want you, like I used to do, I do not want you, when the alarm goes off, to reach over and tap the snooze button. The reason why I do not want you to ever tap the snooze button is because of how snoozing for a couple minutes impacts your neurology. It impacts your brain function. Again, this isn't something I made up. This is well-established research. You see, I used to be a chronic snooze button hitter. When Chris and I were going through a really rough time, or I notice in times in my life where I'm feeling stressed out or overwhelmed, when that alarm goes off, there's a small hesitation where I start to feel a little stressed and overwhelmed when I think about the day ahead. And it just feels so safe and so satisfying and so tempting to reach over and hit the snooze button and doze off for 9 minutes or 15 minutes. And then the alarm goes off again, and then I reach over and hit the snooze button, doze off for 9 to 15 minutes. And then the alarm goes off again, and then I reach over. And the reason why it's tempting to do that is because you're delaying having to deal with your life. You are giving yourself a false sense of control that I can find 9 to 15 minutes to just avoid having to deal with what I want to deal with. And so I don't want you to do that. And the reason why I don't want you to ever hit the snooze button is because of how dozing off for 9 to 15 minutes impacts the way that your brain works. So let me explain to you the science of sleep. Let me explain to you why the snooze button is such a dangerous thing to do for your productivity, your happiness, your mindsets, your ability to be a deliberate thinker, your ability to be in control of your life. And look, I know that at least 65% of adults hit the snooze button every single morning. So the reason why I don't want you to ever hit the snooze button, and why this is so important if you want to be in control of your mindset, of your happiness, of your mental health state, is because of the science of sleep. So you and I sleep in cycles. And the reason why we sleep, there's a lot of reasons why we sleep, but there's one main reason. Obviously, we fall asleep because our body needs to rest and rejuvenate. But there's another major reason for why we sleep, and it has to do with brain function. When you sleep, when you and I are falling asleep, half of our brain is allocated to running our body functions. The other half of our brain is able to basically just shut off and not really work. And while you and I are sleeping, do you know what your brain is busy doing? Your brain is busy taking all of the memories and things that happened to you today, and it is returning those memories and storing them in your brain, almost like returning books to a giant library system. If you didn't sleep every night, you would have no memories. One of the main reasons why we sleep is because by resting and allowing part of your brain to shut down for a while, your mind has the ability to store all of your memories from today. You wouldn't have any memories if you didn't sleep every night. And so part of the reason why sleep's so critical has to do with your brain function. It has to do with your cognitive abilities. And so the way that sleep works is we fall asleep, we sleep in cycles of about 75 to 90 minutes, and then we start another one. and we go into another sleep cycle for 75 to 90 minutes. And then we typically start another one, and we start another sleep cycle that goes 75 to 90 minutes. And after 2 or 3 sleep cycles, or heck, if you're lucky, 4 of them, your body and brain go into a mode where for about 2 hours, your brain just goes into a state where it's getting ready to wake up. So for those of you that wake up naturally before an alarm goes off, or the alarm goes off and you've had anywhere from 6 hours plus of sleep, your mind is now in a state, it's not in a sleep cycle, where it is ready to wake up, it is ready to start the day, it is ready to be deliberate. If you wake up in that state and then you reach over and hit the snooze button and you doze off for 9 to 15 minutes, what do you suppose your brain starts again? If you're thinking a sleep cycle, you'd be absolutely right. And how long does a sleep cycle last? A sleep cycle lasts 75 to 90 minutes. So you drift off into a sleep cycle, your brain does, which lasts 75 to 90 minutes. All of a sudden, the alarm goes off 9 to 15 minutes later. Your brain is in a sleep cycle. You are in a medical, neurological state right now that scientists call sleep inertia. It means that by falling into a sleep cycle and waking yourself up 9 to 15 minutes in it, the cortic region of your brain is now trapped in a sleep cycle. And do you realize it takes your brain, once you're awake, 4 hours to shake itself loose of the state of sleep inertia? Why is sleep inertia a bad thing? Studies prove that when you're in a state of sleep inertia, it impacts your speed of processing, it impacts your ability to focus, it impacts your ability to do any kind of strategic thinking. So for you, if you're a chronic snoozer like I used to be, and you sleep and then the alarm goes off, then you hit snooze, then you drift into a sleep cycle, then the alarm goes off, then you hit snooze, then you drift into a sleep cycle, and then the alarm goes off and you get up, your brain, you know how you say when you're a snoozer, you're always like, I didn't get any sleep, and you feel so groggy and tired, and you keep saying, I didn't get enough sleep last night. I didn't get enough sleep last night. Guess what? Has nothing to do with how much sleep you got. It has to do with the fact that when the alarm went off, instead of getting up, you started another sleep cycle. And then when the alarm went off 15 minutes later, you woke yourself up, and now your brain is trapped in a sleep cycle. You're in a state of sleep inertia. It has nothing to do with how much sleep you got. It has everything to do with how you woke up.
Mom, why are you making the bed?
Why am I making the bed? Well, I'm making the bed even though we're checking out of the hotel this morning, because every single morning I have the same simple morning routine, Ken. I get up when the alarm rings, I get moving, I get my exercise clothes on, I move my body, I then journal, do a brain dump, I make my bed, and even though we're checking out of the hotel, it's so important to keep to your routine, because the key to changing your life is change your daily habits. The way that you start to change the big things is you change the small things. Make tiny, teeny promises to yourself and then keep them. So I have a promise to wake up and get up for myself. For years and years and years, I would get up to make the school bus. I would get up for school. I would get up because my mom was telling me to. I would get up because I had to get to work. I would get up to get my kids to school. Today, I get out of bed when the alarm rings for myself. I make the bed as a gift to myself. Now, normally when I'm home, the gift is I get to come back to a nicely made bed and I have a beautiful place to lay down and dream. It's also a gift because I start my day by completing something. But it's also a gift, even though I'm checking out of this hotel this morning, because I am building the foundation for all change, which is consistency. So here's how you can put this into practice. Think about what you want your morning routine to be. Come up with just one promise you're going to make to yourself. Is it going to be to get up when the alarm rings? Is it going to be to make your bed? Let's start with making your bed. Tomorrow morning, you're going to wake up and you're going to make a promise that you're going to make your bed for yourself. Do it every morning and you are building the habit of consistency. And that habit of consistency is the backbone to all change. Mwah. Hey, it's Mel. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed that video, by God, please subscribe because I don't want you to miss a thing. Thank you so much for being here. We've got so much amazing stuff coming. Thank you so much for sending this stuff to your friends and your family. I love you. We create these videos for you. So make sure you subscribe. Mwah.